back to BYU Sports Nation. I'm Jarom Jordan alongside Jason Shepard. Who's your favorite G League Ignite player besides Scoot?
Besides Scoot?
Yeah, besides Scoot.
Oh,
Scoot Hims.
Yeah, probably Eric Mika.
Eric Mika is now our next guest on BYU Sports Nation.
Why am I?
Of the former G League Ignite.
Don't exclude. Don't say except for Scoot.
Well, we're assuming that Scoot is our favorite.
Why? I know that. That's
Right.
what I'm taking.
Right. Scoot's our favorite. Who's our next guy? You're our next guy. That's what I'm joking.
I'm leaving.
Eric, how you doing, man? What's going on?
I'm doing great.
Man?
It's good to be back
Yeah.
here, not in a computer screen. You guys.
Yeah.
Just
no
calling
Zoom.
me on Zoom. Yeah, this is way better.
This is way better.
It's good to see you.
A little more personal, right?
Yeah.
To hang out on the nice, comfy blue chairs.
You guys smell nice.
Do we really? I don't believe you.
Probably more me than him.
Yeah.
Let's inform the people. So
Cool.
G League Ignite are not a team anymore. What's your future like? Are you retired? Are you still playing? What's going? You're doing the podcast, of course.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just hanging out right now. I'm going to Chelsea games in London.
I know, dude. That was awesome.
I only bring that up because I know.
Yeah, I know. I would like to go one day.
No, so Ignite dissolving was a bummer. I would have loved to play with them, till the end of my career. It was a great situation. Nice to be close to home. I loved the staff. I loved what we did outside of just playing, at a pretty high level. You're also mentoring these young guys and kind of helping their first step into what pro life is. I think regardless of whether they continued or not, I would have been done. My knee is just not happy with me anymore. So I've had a handful of knee surgeries on my left knee, and I just think at this point it's not worth, pushing it and not, being able to just do regular life things if anything else goes wrong. So people are like, oh, so Ignite being dissolved, does that mean you're done playing basketball? I'm like, well, no, my knee being, in the shape that it is means I'm done with basketball.
So is this a retirement announcement?
This is I guess,
do something official?
No. Breaking news, Eric Mika retires from basketball?
I don't want to do anything official.
And then we'll send out an official press release after.
Correct.
Yes.
And then when I unretire,
yes, just no.
we'll do something again.
All you need to do is fax out. I'm back.
Yeah.
Like Jordan.
Just like Jordan.
Yeah.
That's all you got to do.
What did Tom Brady do?
I don't know. Just showed up.
It is more along Michael Jordan's wave, though, because I've been getting into another sport. So my baseball.
Oh.
Do you know? Rowing.
Rowing. But if you follow Eric on Instagram,
that's all I
the
post
daily
about.
rowing.
That's all I post about.
So how and why?
We're not talking in the water.
No.
We're talking in the gym.
No, but I'm gonna get in the water.
Are you
but
really?
In the gym.
Boys in the Boat.
Yeah, Boys in the Boat. Best book ever. Movie was okay.
Could have been better.
Could have been better. Yeah. How do you go in that? Deep into the stories that were in the book. You can't, there's not enough time. Anyways, I started doing it basically because my older brother was doing it a couple years ago, and he started telling me his times, and so occasionally I'd get on the urge.
What's his name again?
We're going to talk about him
Okay.
too.
That's
Alec.
Alec, yeah.
But before we hype him up, let's throw him under the bus again.
Oh, perfect.
Real quick.
Perfect.
So Alec started doing it because his father-in-law had a machine, and so he started telling me these times, and so casually I'd hop on and try and beat them, and they were really hard. Rowing is not fun.
Yeah.
Your whole body just kind of feels sick by the end of it.
Make your back look amazing though.
Your back, but you're also working 80% of it should be your legs, and your core is killing. So just a tough workout. So essentially it's low impact on my knee. And so as I was recovering from my surgery, I was like, this is what I can do. And then it's just continued on. And I'm like, well, why not beat Alec at
and compete, not just be in the gym.
It's the competition.
Exactly. Compete. Yeah, there's it's kind of like Peloton. There's a community. There's an app you can log in. It'll track your times. I have the #1 time in the world right now in the 500 meter.
Are you serious?
For this year. I mean, not like
this
ever.
year,
For this
500,
year,
#1 in the world. What's the time?
It's 1:17. So it's fun because I'm competing against myself. It's me versus me, and it's really a tough workout. But you're also kind of getting some feedback, I'm keeping up with other people too. Alec deserves a shout out though. He feels like he got ripped off.
The last time we had Matt Schneck on talking lacrosse.
Every time Matt Schneck comes on, I get mentioned. My 2 other younger brothers get mentioned. Alec never gets mentioned.
Alex, sorry, bro.
He got
You're getting a lot of mention now.
A lot of airtime, more than he'll ever get the rest of his life.
Yeah, this is kind of the peak of the mountain, but
it's
a good day.
He got playing time as a freshman, and he won a national championship. That was 2010-11 season, I think. So the previous championship before this past year, which was awesome.
Shout out Alec.
Shout out Alec. Shout out
Cross.
Matt Schneck.
Champion. Let's go.
all those things.
When you say 1:17, is that an hour and 17 minutes?
No, 1 minute and 17
1 minute.
Yeah, 500 meters. Yeah.
Wow.
I've done
500 meters in a minute and 17.
I've done
rowing?
hour rows, and those are the worst thing. Like if you really don't like yourself, go do an hour rowing workout.
It's like Jared Ward, where we're like, hey, what is it about marathoning that you like? He's like, I don't. I hate it.
Yeah.
Like it's so hard. I'm like, why do you do it? He's like, I don't know. I just love.
Yeah.
I love that hate relationship.
You feel so good after. You feel like you actually really improved your body and your mind. You know, I can't compare anything I will ever do to marathon runners though. Like
that's incredible.
The pace they're running, it doesn't make sense. I have a question for you guys. Because what's that pace for like a 2-hour marathon? It's like 5.5 minutes or 5 minutes.
They're running like a
or sub 5 or something.
They're running like a
sub
sub 6 or something.
How many people in the world
crazy.
can run a sub 5 mile singular?
I know I can't.
I mean,
right?
100,000.
Connor Manson, Clayton Young from BYU in the Olympics,
50,000?
right?
No, I'm saying one single mile. Like there's not even that many people.
a single mile.
And then they have to go do it for 26 miles. It doesn't compute.
It doesn't.
Pretty insane.
Ty Haas went and just like ran a marathon a couple months ago. I was like, bro, are you crazy?
Well,
he wants to compete.
He ran a 450 mile when we were here at BYU.
He was that athletic.
That's
how he got up and down all the time.
Yeah. No, he was. And Coach Rose had this like mile conditioning test preseason, and the bigs had to get under 6:30 and the guards had to get under 6, which is like doable, but you have to be in pretty good shape. And everyone did it, everyone except for one person. If you don't do it, you have to keep doing it weekly until you can do it. So that person.
Don't.
After the interview, you tell me.
No, I'll say it here. It was my roommate, Frank Bartley.
Frank Bartley the fourth.
He could do it. He just, I don't know.
Just didn't want to.
He was just against it. Yeah, it was like his
It's like a principle.
Yeah.
I like Frank. He's one that got away.
He was the best.
Would have loved Frank.
Yeah. And he's doing great. But
awesome.
He would have to wake up like weekly with Cody Feger and go to the track like until he passed. It was like November or December he finally passed it. But once a week he had to wake up at like 5 and go do this. So we were like, Frank, you can do it. Just do it. And then he probably got it in like 5:59.8. So we ran a mile, and Skylar Halford and Tyler ran the mile in 4:50.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Athletes.
And those guys they're Energizer bunnies.
Yep.
So
Skylar lives literally like 12 houses away from me now.
He's the best.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Kevin Young. I saw you, interviewed you at the introductory press conference.
Yep.
Everybody has been beyond thrilled with how this tenure has begun.
8 weeks today, by the way.
What's been your thoughts watching this all unfold?
Crazy 8 weeks, like crazy. I am as impressed as everybody else. What I love and what stands out to me, I've been around Kevin. We've had a lot of conversations. I'm in the annex a lot, and I also, went down the path of potentially coaching, and so we interviewed and got to know each other like in those early days. And one, I just love his demeanor. Like he's I don't know, maybe comes across as serious, but what it is, he just loves hoop. Like he doesn't care about anything else. Like he wants to get in the gym and work guys out, and that's what I love about him. And I would guess that's why all these NBA players love him too. Like they can really pick out a guy that loves being in the gym, and even if he's a head coach, like he's the type of head coach that will probably go rebound for you at 1 a.m. if you're going through a shooting, slump. You know what I mean? And guys will play for that. They'll play hard for guys like that. So I really love his demeanor. You can tell he just loves basketball. He doesn't care about like the hoopla or the anything else that seems like a bit of a show that comes naturally with sports at this level. Like he's not intrigued by any of that. Like he wants to win basketball games, which is great. I also love how he's built his staff. Like I think they probably have the most unique staff in the world as far as their global reach, which I know you've talked about before. But also it's just very professional. It's NBA-like. Like he took what he could and made it as NBA as possible, because he's seeing this wave that all of us are seeing. He's saying, hey, this is no longer college and amateur. This is professional, and our coaching staff needs to reflect that, and he's done that, which is amazing.
Well, and I think something that really stood out to me about his comments last week when he met with the media about his staff, he talked about the fact is like, these are guys that I'm so thrilled to have here. Is like, and in most cases, I was going to reach out to these same guys if I'd gotten an NBA job.
Right.
That should speak
Which
extremely highly about the type of staff he's put together here in Provo.
Yeah. No, really impressive guys. I met Tim right as he got on campus for father and son's camp. And
At the time, you say friend of the program.
Right.
And then they hired him. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he was a friend of the program. He was a counselor.
We're finishing the paperwork.
Yeah. But we have a lot of mutual friends from his time in Maccabi and just Europe in general. And coach from San Antonio or Austin. Yeah, Bill. Coached one of my Ignite teammates from year one, Sidi Sissoko, who got drafted by the Spurs. So I checked up on him through Sidi, and he said he's awesome, really likes him. So yeah, I'm impressed by the staff, and without even talking about the players, right? Like we have very, very capable players with room for even more improvement. So, I think it's a recipe for a very exciting year.
It's super exciting, man. Thanks for coming in. I think we could have talked with you for 30 more minutes.
That's it? We're done?
We're done.
That's it.
I talked about rowing for about 40% of the time. That was my goal, though. So,
way to just talk about rowing. Hey, now we know more about rowing now. Follow Eric on Instagram. You get all the updates. We appreciate the time, man. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks, Eric.